Tanse nuagumagantik just no siivinuak. Pome ise piks vatta koguma. Nasku maama muuta uima. Ja miosik kissega hakkutagi miiguaeg. Nüüd ma amskuutina nuuds. Ja piks vatta kog. Ta võitamata kog. Ta sumta uispa igumata või. Ta või ma mua uias vaatamaag. Ja kui ma Thursday or Friday. Mutta Edmontoni ega Whitefish. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody, and I'd like to wish everybody a good morning and a good day. I'd like to thank the Creator for giving us another good day. I'm here to do a little bit of a reminder of what's coming up this week here at Whitefish Lake First Nation. It's a historic, significant event that's going to be occurring in our community here for our First Nation. We'll be having our Whitefish Lake Electorial Regulations Referendum. It'll be held at Thursday in Edmonton at the Doubletree Hotel and Friday at Whitefish Lake, Goodfish Lake Community Hall. It'll be from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on both days. Since 1876, in the treaty signing, we've been discriminated upon. Chief James Seenham Cree Band had signed on to the treaty signing of 1876. Since then, we've been subjected to our freedom as Whitefish Lake peoples, our autonomy. This election is a historic event. This electoral referendum is a historic event for Whitefish Lake people, as we are determining our own processes, our own way of what we think, of what our thoughts are, of how we should elect our leadership of Whitefish Lake First Nation, of who's able to run and who's able to vote, who's able to second, and who's able to nominate. This referendum is only about our election rules. It is not about any treaty. It is not about separation. We are talking about determining our own election rules for Whitefish Lake people, for Whitefish Lake Nation. This is what we are voting on come this Thursday and come this Friday. Saddle Lake and Goodfish and Whitefish Lake leadership had jointly developed electoral regulations in 1955 at Spedden, Alberta. These were jointly done by both leaderships. But these electoral election bylaws that were developed in 1955 are still currently used today in our elections. However, since then we've received numerous challenges in every election. In every election, we have hardships in our community. We have disagreements in our community because our election bylaws are outdated according to the laws of Canada. Last election, we were challenged with our election, and therefore, we went to court. We had asked Saddle Lake at that time to come in partnership with us, and at that time, Saddle Lake Chief and Council informed us to proceed on our own, that it was our elections and it was our problem to deal with, our issue to deal with. Our current Chief and Council developed a working group to start working on election bylaws for Whitefish Lake people, done by Whitefish Lake members. Hence, we started working on these election bylaws. We had 6 community engagements, 3 in Edmonton, 3 in Whitefish Lake, getting input from community members of what their feelings were and thoughts were of how we should choose our election, who can run, who cannot run, who can second, who cannot second the motions. These are the rules that we developed. Every nation, every organization have election bylaws. We had the opportunity to develop these bylaws, election bylaws, by ourselves as Whitefish Lake people. And we done that. We could not wait for other governments, for courts, to develop these election bylaws for us. It was only right that we develop these bylaws ourselves. Again, what the referendum about is about our election bylaws. There's a lot of misinformation going out there about separation, about treaties. This is not about that. This is about how we elect our leadership of Whitefish Lake First Nation. In October 21st, Saddle Lake and Whitefish Lake agreed. 2022, October 21st, they both agreed to develop a membership working group to identify who's a Whitefish Lake member and who's a Saddle Lake member. On November 16, 2022, in a joint council meeting, Saddle Lake and Whitefish Lake leadership signed a BCR, a band council resolution, a legal document, with both leaderships agreeing that Whitefish Lake continue on to develop their own election bylaws. We have done that. There was an agreement. We are at that state now that we have developed our consultation, our community engagement, and now we are proceeding on to our referendum. Again, we done our due diligence as a working group. We done 6 community engagements, public community engagements open to all Whitefish Lake members. We done 2 senior engagements. We done over 500 surveys of community members with key specific topics of concern within the regulations. Further, we also done our due diligence and reviewed Canadian court cases of Canada pertaining to First Nation challenges and regarding voting elections, regarding certain voting irregularities of concern. We also met with a First Nation that was similar circumstance as Whitefish Lake and Saddle Lake. We had legal counsel. We studied and reviewed the Charter Rights of Freedom and the other laws that pertain to First Nations from the Government of Canada. We done our due diligence. It is time for us to vote. It is time for us Whitefish Lake people to determine our own election process. It is our own election process that's developed by our own people. This is 2023, people. It is an opportunity to have an historic significance for us to develop our own election criteria our own election bylaws, for us to determine our own future of how we want to elect our leadership. This is what it's all about. So any other information that's out there is false to the pretense. We have signed band council resolution that's agreed upon on the Whitefish Lake webpage. We have access to our community members, or to myself, if you have further questions. So, people, we urge you to go out and vote. We urge you to exercise your vote as Whitefish Lake people, as this is again a historic significance of us determining our own path and our own future of how we elect our leadership. Kinaskum nawaga kin tutawig, yago may mistagitig, that we will sort the mago muta this week. So if you need further information about whether you're in a membership list or whether you got any other concerns, please get a hold of us, contact us, and we'll assist you and provide you the correct information as you require. We thank you very much. We hope you turn out on this Thursday, February 23rd, and this at Edmonton, and this Friday, February 24th in Edmonton. Kinaskom na, ay.